My name is Morgan Yordy, and I am an associate professor at the College of Nursing. And I teach mainly in the undergraduate program with some amazing college students. I do research and scholarship and outreach in the community. And that's what I do day to day, every single day, Monday through Friday. But turns out I'm doing a lot of Saturdays and Sundays as well. So what's really cool is Sully is there most days, Monday through Friday. He does come on the occasional weekend, depending on if there's like finals week. Sometimes he makes surprise visits. We usually go and visit students before their tests because petting a dog, there's a lot of research out there that it just does help with blood pressure and calming effect, especially with those that love dogs or want to be around dogs. Some students have asked to walk him before their test. Exercise and walking a dog actually helps, with those endorphins, and actually that has shown to improve grades. So we do have some students doing that. He has his own office. His office is really nice. We just redid it. He has some really comfy couches and really a fun space, and students are welcome in there. Usually there's a bunch of students. If a fun college student just wants to go crazy and pet him and have a good time, Sully will eat it up and be like, oh, okay, let's play. Or if somebody is crying, he will climb in their lap, which is kind of a little obnoxious, right, Saul, with your heavy weight. Right now we have 2 dogs, hoping to extend the program to more dogs. Dolly is our petite mini golden doodle that Francine handles. She mainly comes to the College of Nursing, is tiny and petite and prissy, which is hilarious. And she is great with students. And then Sully and I do a lot at College of Nursing. But we also do a lot outside in the community, especially with sensory programming and neurodivergence with children. So we get out a lot in the community. Our program is just wonderful at the College of Nursing. And what's a better job than to hang out with college students that are quite fun, and dogs all day. You can't beat it. I guess it all kind of started back when I was younger. I've always been into animals. I always had animals growing up. We had dogs and rabbits and random things from the yard, and always loved them. When I met my husband, animals were always part of our relationship as well. Actually, we got together because of a dog, which is kind of funny. John was living in Dothan at the time. Yes, I see you, Sully. And he traveled a lot for his job, and I think we had met and were maybe talking for about a week and went on a date. And he asked me to watch his dog. And somehow the dog moved in to my house, and I guess that's the way to date me because it worked, because we got engaged 9 months later and married 6 months after that. So dogs were part of our lives. We had Dooley, his dog. I had a golden retriever. And when we started our family and our family was growing, I started working in animal assisted therapy because, the dogs had always been such a big part of our lives, and it was a way that I could work in our community and also spend time with our dogs. So it kind of dated back all the way back into the very beginning, back in 2010. I think I won the prize in having John in my life, and my kids had an amazing dad, and we almost had 10 years of marriage before he did not wake up one morning, and that was really hard. We had friends and coworkers, I mean, amazing support. My work family showed up. But at the end of the day, we had Clarabelle and Daisy were our godsons. Daisy recently passed. They were what we needed during that time because there was so much confusion and so much heartache. And as a mom, I just didn't know what to do because I had gone from working with animals in different populations of grown adults to now thinking, what can I do to protect my children? So Daisy and Clarabelle became like just the most perfect creatures to provide love and support. It was wonderful to have the dogs just to love on. And I know, thank you. Just their support. What happened to ours, and our situation is not unique. There's other people out there that have lost a spouse, that has lost, a brother, a sister, a parent, a cousin, a friend, and that's not unique at all. There's a lot of people out there that have lost that vision of what they thought their life was going to look like. You have this vision like, oh, I'm going to get married and have kids and it's going to look this way, and due to divorce or an illness or an accident, that vision has changed. And I think as a parent, you go through those phases of like, well, how best can I help children or my children? And it switched to how best can I support others that are going through something similar, either a loss of a parent or a loss of that vision of what they thought life was going to be like. So my research and outreach kind of changed to be more of a voice for kids and young adults that might be experiencing something that's really hard, that animals can help support. The fact that they love fiercely is, I think, something that we could learn from them. They just love. They wake up with a smile on their face just to see your face smiling. And I think if we all walked around in this world where the first thing we saw was a smiling face, wouldn't that place be a great place to be? I think it'd be amazing. A friend of mine kind of recently told me I have different laughs. And I never thought about that. The laugh of, when a dog does something crazy like growl at, Lion King, animals that are fake on TV, or the laugh of, that big wild laugh of, oh wow, Auburn is winning the football game. Can you believe this? To that uncomfortable laugh of, is this kind of funny? I don't know. Let me just chuckle. If somebody's noticing that I have a different forms of a laugh, then I've found joy again. And I think that's huge. I think I found joy because of my kids and my job and the people I've met along the way. And it's been a long journey. It's been 5 years of hard work to get to where I am, but there's joy there. When John passed away, it was extremely confusing, because how do you go from a football game to the next day he's gone? People are asking me questions, and people were asking my children. My children were so little. They were so tiny. And Clarabelle was John's dog, and she took to them. She became the mom. because they saw that I was hurting, and they went straight towards her. And if you can't tell, Clarabelle is just absolutely a love, and just provides that. And then Daisy was mine. She had a way that I didn't have to speak. People would be in and out of the house at all times, and the love that I had for my husband, my love was gone, and he was gone way too soon. And Daisy, I didn't have to talk about it. People would ask me questions, and it was constant questions and talking. And the dogs were there, and they didn't ask any questions. And that was what was great. I just think that kids are amazing. Kids are precious. Kids are amazing. And I think we need to protect them, but we can learn a lot from kids. We can learn a lot from dogs. And I think we don't need to stop looking for those answers either. Like, I don't have all the answers. I definitely don't have all the answers. But I won't stop looking for some answers and looking at ways to help kids and families, because we went through something and we're getting on the other side of it. And I think there's so many ways to get through those type of situations, and I hope that others will see that, whether it's through a dog or not, there are avenues out there to help and people that just really want to help, and hopefully they'll find your laugh again.